most part until you're out of town with a bunch of greasy.
Yeah, until Gersh steals your pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking bitch. Dude, fuck that guy.
Hello and welcome to 7 Days Makes 1 Week. I'm Freddie P, and the place to be for episode 3. Next to me on my left is Niko Ursic, and we're in Zach the producer's living room. Same bat time, same bat channel, ready to discuss the week that was and the week that will be. Niko, my man, what's happening?
Not much, man. Just chilling. Enjoying my day off. What
You had to
about
work
you?
yesterday?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, I had to work yesterday too.
It was easy day, though. We only worked 8 hours, and we didn't really get all that much done.
Yeah, it's a Saturday shift, as they may be.
Yeah.
Zach, how are things over there?
They are very good today. I just had my buddy into town. I've known him since kindergarten, so it's nice to get a little reset button with an old friend. And yeah, it's just a good time, man. Good weekend. But it is what it is.
Cool.
The weather's nice. Everything's good to go. I think the first topic we would like to discuss is Canada qualifying for their first World Cup since 1986, where they went goalless, and we can talk about the rest of the draw too, as I see Niko's wearing his Portugal jersey, loud and proud.
Yeah, buddy.
Canada go top of the CONCACAF table, but how the World Cup works is it still comes down to your FIFA World Ranking, which is kind of dumb because I don't fully understand how, but you can kind of manipulate the system based on who you play in friendlies and stuff like that to rise or fall as you were in the standings. And the other two teams, possible 3 teams if Costa Rica make it as far as they should. They have a World Cup playoff against, I believe, New Zealand, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
And so even if that's the 4 teams from CONCACAF to go, although Canada finished top, they technically got the worst seed because of their World Cup rankings. So USA, I think, is... I'm not sure, but USA and Mexico are both top 15, whereas Canada is 38th.
Yeah, I
in
think
the world,
so, yeah.
something like that. So even though they finished top of the table, they still didn't get the best seeding. The group they got drawn into is with Belgium, Morocco, and Croatia. Pretty strong teams. Morocco finished top of African qualifying, went through the qualifying round undefeated. Belgium is Belgium. They have Kevin De Bruyne, Romelu Lukaku,
Eden Hazard.
a chubby Eden Hazard. I'd almost be more stoked about Thorgan Hazard.
Yeah.
But
Probably won't even play.
Eden Hazard nonetheless. And so that's pretty cool. Belgium's a very top-flight team, and that's one thing I did want to see Canada play was a true world-class team. They are getting a little old, though. Their golden generation, quote-unquote, kind of has sailed. Not sailed, they're still kind of there, but they are getting a little old. Same with Croatia. They have a 36-year-old Luka Modric, although he's been in top form for his club Madrid. They have, Ivan Rakitic, Ivan Perisic.
Perisic, yeah.
They got a pretty solid team, although they're also getting a little old. Mostly the same team that went to the semifinals of the last World Cup, or the last World Cup and lost to England, who went on to play Italy in the final and then lost. So they do have a pretty good team that can go far in knockout round football. And then Morocco, the only notable player that I know is Achraf Hakimi.
Yeah.
But like I said, they finished top of their group in African qualifying, went undefeated. So there's that. They're at least a pretty good team. Definitely one of the tougher groups. You could be in a worse group, I suppose. I know Germany. If you don't mind, can you get the groups in a little clearer thing? I know there's a group with Spain and Germany together. That would have been a really tough group. I think it's Japan is also in there. I'd feel really bad for them.
Go to click draw, group draw, World Cup draw, yeah.
So Group A, Qatar, Ecuador, Senegal, and the Netherlands. Senegal just won the African Cup of Nations this last winter. Ecuador, I know, is having a pretty good youth group coming forward, but they're not the strongest team. Qatar, just the host, is why they got into Group A. And the Netherlands have been in pretty good form. Group B, England, Iran, the United States of America, and the winner of first Ukraine has to play Scotland, and then the winner of that will play Wales to determine that position. So that's something to look forward to. It'd be nice if Ukraine got in there, but with everything going on, I wouldn't even be surprised if they just kind of pulled out. It'd be kind of tough to ask their country to do that at the moment. Group C, Argentina, Saudi Arabia, Mexico, and Poland. Pretty tough group. Poland also getting pretty old, even though they have Lewandowski. Mexico definitely not what they used to be, as we saw in the qualifiers against Canada or against CONCACAF. Just go to history at the top.
Be messy. It'd be a good matchup between Messi and Lewandowski.
And then, yeah, Argentina, I mean, they finished second in the South American qualifying behind only Brazil. So Messi's last kick at trying to win a World Cup, I guess you could more than likely say the same for Ronaldo. This is probably the last chance that they will get. Little technical difficulty.
Go to the second one down, right there. Second one down.
Yeah,
there you go.
One. So Argentina, Saudi Arabia, clearly the weakest in that group. Mexico, Poland, and Argentina are more than likely who's going to advance.
Yeah.
France, the winner of the United Arab Emirates,
Australia,
and Peru.
I think.
Question mark. Nobody really tough coming out of there. Denmark and Tunisia. Denmark has Christian Eriksen, yeah, so that's a pretty solid team right there. A couple other players that play in pretty top flight leagues. Tunisia, definitely the weakest team there. The next group, this is the tough one. Either Costa Rica or New Zealand, Germany, Japan, and Spain. That's a pretty tough group if you're not Spain or Germany. Next group, Group F, the one that we're in. Belgium, Canada, Morocco, and Croatia. Then we'll just rifle through the rest of them real quick. Group G, Brazil, Serbia, Switzerland, and Cameroon. That's really a race for second place between the latter three. And then Group H, Portugal, Ghana, Uruguay, and South Korea. You gotta like Portugal's chances of topping that group. Uruguay, maybe, although they're getting quite old. South Korea, I mean, I think they beat Germany at the last World Cup, but Young-Min Son's pretty good. But outside of that, I'm not sure who they really have. And then Ghana, I know they did decently well in the Africa Cup of Nations as well, but that's definitely Portugal's group to lose. Which group would you like to focus on?
I mean, I would say the main one we should focus on is Canada, to be honest. I feel like this is one of the toughest groups. Well, maybe not one of the toughest groups, but
I'd say it's the second toughest group.
Toughest.
Spain, Germany is tough if you're not one of those two. It depends who you are in Group F. If you're Belgium, I don't think you're really looking at that group tough. But apparently,
No.
Roberto Martinez, their manager, even came out and said, I'm looking out for Canada. That's not an easy game. I mean, that's politics, and of course he's gonna say that, but.
Well, that's the thing is, I feel like any of those, Canada, Morocco, and Croatia, anything can happen between any of those, the three clubs. I don't want to say they're all on the same level because they're not. Maybe Canada and Morocco are, but anything can happen with Croatia. As you say, they are aging, but if Luka Modric and Ivan Perisic, they can control the game, then it could look pretty rough for us Canadians, or we can come third there, no problem. I don't want to write off Morocco, but I kind of am.
I mean, Canada finished top. There's only 5 different footballing federations: Africa, South America, Europe, Asia, and North America. I think I could be wrong, but I think so. Morocco finished top of theirs. Canada finished top of ours. And I'm sure Belgium finished at least, top 3, maybe top 5 in the European. So that is a pretty tough group on paper. I don't know where Croatia would have finished. I think this is just the same page. Yeah. But that's fine. What would be what you really want to see? What would you think is a solid World Cup for Canada to have?
I would say for them to I'll give you my prediction on what I think is going to happen. I think they're going to beat Morocco. I think they're going to draw to Croatia, and they might lose to Belgium. But Belgium has a history of being a very good team, but not underperforming for sure. So with that being said, anything can happen. If they were to make it into the round of 16 and lose, I'd be stoked. If they were to score a few goals, I'd be stoked. Even if they were to lose all 3 games but score a couple goals and show some promise,
put up a fight,
yeah, then I would be happy with that. I'm not gonna say they're gonna win it all or anything like that, because that would be super far-fetched. And if I was gonna do that, I'd put some money on it. But
I wonder what the odds are. Can you Google that?
They're probably like fucking 1,000 to 1 or some
odds for
shit.
World Cup, yeah. Outright winners. World Cup betting odds. Click on
Odds
the Atlantic
checker.
will be behind a paywall. There you go, yeah. Canada has better odds to win than 14 other countries.
Damn.
Canada is tied for the 20th best odds at plus 20,000, according to odds available April 1st on Bet365, meaning a $1 bet would return $201.
That's not bad.
But the Canadian men are still ahead of several notable countries. Canada's odds are shared with Cameroon and Peru, which have yet to qualify. A total of 14 countries have longer odds of winning the World Cup than Canada, which in a list that includes 5 countries that have yet to qualify. The list doesn't include the United Arab Emirates, a country that still has to qualify, but is the biggest long shot. Other countries that Canada ranks ahead of are currently Japan, Morocco, Ukraine, South Korea, Saudi Arabia, Ghana, Qatar, Wales, Tunisia, Iran, Australia, Scotland, Costa Rica, and New Zealand. I mean, as they should be. There's probably 1 or 2 other teams. Oh, here we go. Brazil, plus 450, the odds-on favorite. Spain, plus 800. There you go. Belgium, plus 1,200. How is Denmark? Oh, no, so I'm not right. I'm not reading in the correct order. Sorry. England, 550.
Going across
France,
the way,
550. Yeah. Argentina, 900. Germany, 1,100. Portugal, 12. Netherlands, 12. Denmark, 28. Croatia, 5,000. Uruguay, 5,000. Like, I don't think Switzerland really has a much better chance than Canada.
I agree.
United States, Mexico. I don't think they really have a better chance than us to win the World Cup.
They probably just have those up there because they're in a better ranking. I don't think United States kind of does have a better team on paper, but when they play against Canada,
if you were to look at the form of Mexico right now and the form of Canada right now, though,
I agree. Canada should have better odds than them for sure.
I think so too, especially Alphonso Davies coming back.
Jonathan David, Kyle Larin, Tejan Buchanan, they all been playing well. I mean, Jonathan David's a little bit gone goalless past couple games, but you can't expect the guy to score every game.
No, it'll come.
It'll come, yeah.
The one question I have is this World Cup we should have Borjan in net, but what about going forward? He's 36 years old. I don't know much about the Canadian men's national team youth setup or any of their other players that aren't in like the first 11. But hopefully we have a goalie that can show up nearly as much as he does going forward for the 2026 World Cup.
I agree. The last game we played, the last qualifier we had, he wasn't in net. It was
their backup goalie. But I heard the commentary say that would have happened had even if we not been like 100%. Apparently that had happened in another one of the qualification breaks. It was a 2-to-1 ratio. 2 for Borjan, 1 for that guy.
Okay. Maybe they're...
No, that's the women's team.
Maybe I know John Herdman likes to give everybody a chance for the most part. Maybe that's why they played that game, or he played that game, just to give him a chance. Because I know he wants to let everybody play. But yeah, it'd be nice to see what young and up-and-coming Canadian players are out there. I feel like everybody's just shadowed behind Alphonso Davies for the most part.
I mean, rightfully so.
Of course, yeah. He's literally one of the best left backs in the world.
He'd have to be top 5, if not top 3 left backs in the world. If you were to do like a universal soccer draft. And
Yeah.
you needed to wait for who's really a better left back than Alphonso Davies.
Maybe we should do a mock draft one of these days, and you guys can pick your top teams, and you
That
guys
would
can
be
compare
sick.
them against each other or something.
That would be awesome one day, yeah.
For sure.
Anyway, before we sit here just thinking about left backs, who do you legitimately think has a strong chance to win this World Cup? Who would you, if you were to make a bet, I know we are slightly betting men, who would you throw your money on?
I'd like to put my money on Portugal, but they'd have to show up big time. Their whole team would have to show up. Ronaldo would have to lead the way, but I would say France has a pretty good chance. France got a pretty good chance. I'd like to say Brazil, but Brazil.
I don't think they should be the favorites.
No, I agree. I think they're the favorites just because they won. I think they got the most points. Like the FIFA ranking system is like, it's kind of stupid how it works. Like I don't actually know how they get these rankings from like it's like a certain number of points or something like that. And it's
Yeah, and I know there's some because I remember a bunch of years ago Belgium like manipulated the system kinda so that they would be in one pot and not the other pot for one of the
draws.
It relies on adding and subtracting points won or lost for games to or from the previous points total rather than averaging game points over a given period. The points which were added or subtracted are partially determined by the relative strength of the two opponents, including the logical expectation that teams higher in the rankings should fare better against teams lower in the rankings. For more on the algorithm, click here. Okay, so we click here, and oh shit, it's a whole PDF. Look at that. Go up to the top. This is everything that's wrong with it. Revision of the FIFA Coca-Cola World Rankings.
Yeah.
Like, fuck right off. Everything mentioned, Coca-Cola's got to be mentioned. I'm not trying to look at like some big mathematical equation, but it's something about who you play, and you can go up or down, and you get different points for different levels of competition, and blah, blah, blah. I don't think Brazil should be as high as they are. England second, I feel like. I'm not even sure I'd really put my money on England.
No, England are going to choke like they always do. Like I was telling Buddy on Facebook, England is the equivalent of Tottenham in the Premier League. They have super good talent, but when it comes to winning something, they just blow it. And
They bottle it.
yeah, are left crying. Not to mention, like, the whole it's coming home thing. You're putting so much pressure on your players, and yeah, they should just
But Niko, it's coming home.
yeah to Portugal. Nah, I saw a stat. That was it was the top goal scorer previous. So I don't know, 3 or 4 competitions ago, the top goal scorer of that competition that year, the next year, their team won. And it happened so on and so forth. So last year, or the last competition, the top goal scorer was Ronaldo. So then they say, like, if it follows suit, then Portugal should be the winners this year. Because that's the way it's gone for the past 3 competitions.
So who won the last World Cup? France.
Yes, and then the competition before that, Antoine Griezmann was the top scorer. And then the competition before that
Was Germany?
What is that? 2000 and what are we in 2002? So it would be 2018.
And then 2018 was France. Then 2014, Germany beats Argentina in Brazil. And then before that would have been Spain over the Netherlands.
Yeah, so I don't know if it was a competition of World Cup, Euro, or just straight Euros.
What else happened this week? Would you like to talk about the Oscars? Will Smith and Chris Rock?
I mean, we could talk about it. I keep saying that I feel like that was a little staged, whether the slap was fake or not.
Well, no, the slap can be real, and it can
Yeah.
still be, the whole event can still be fake.
Yeah.
I think if it's fake, it makes sense because a lot of people were talking shit about Will Smith's wife and Will Smith and their relationship. But I mean, that kind of almost doesn't make sense because now more people are talking about it than they were. You could have almost let it die.
But how much are they talking about alopecia? That's one thing that I saw. I saw a post saying that Pfizer needed some big event to happen because they were just coming out with a treatment for alopecia. So they needed some big event surrounding alopecia to make it more. Here we go.
Yeah, that great news source, the South African.
The South African, baby. It ain't CNN or NBC, so I mean, conspiracy theorists having a field day with claims that pharmaceutical group Pfizer is behind Will Smith's Oscar slap to boost support for a new drug to treat alopecia. Yeah, when I saw that slap in the first place, it just looked like a little.
I think it's weird because Chris
Staged.
Rock put both of his hands behind his back and like stuck out his chin, and then then Will Smith like turned and walked away so like he knew he wasn't gonna get like hit. Even if it wasn't an award show and you thought Chris Rock was like the ultimate professional, anytime you hit like if you were to ever hit somebody, just being like three dudes, if you were to ever hit somebody, especially out of anger, like the guy just insults your wife, you get up and walk a solid like 30 or 40 feet or whatever it may be to slap him on national television in front of a room full of his peers. What percentage are you in your head that this guy's not gonna hit me back?
I could say maybe he was in shock and he didn't think that anything was gonna happen. Maybe he was gonna maybe he thought he was gonna pull a Kanye West and just take the microphone away from him or something.
No,
like
but
that.
being Will Smith, like if you're Will Smith and you think, okay, this guy just insulted my wife, I'm gonna walk all the way over and slap the shit out of him in front of all of his peers on national television. You gotta be like at least 50% sure that this guy's gonna hit you back.
Yeah, I would say.
And
50%.
just how he turned and walked away, like I feel like he knew he wasn't gonna get hit.
Also, when he turned and walked away, I watched the video multiple times. It looked like to me he was smiling.
He was walking with.
Yeah, walking with the strut. It looked like he was smiling after he did it. Like, not to mention he was laughing at the joke until he looked over at Jada. Jada didn't seem too happy. Then all of a sudden he makes a move, you know, where if you're really mad, you wouldn't be, in my opinion, you wouldn't be laughing. You would just react, or you wouldn't react. Either you do nothing or you do something right away, not ha ha ha.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's another spot for me where it seems like
Less authentic.
Exactly. And like then later on he wins an award for.
That's one of the things I want. Like how much like privilege is there in Hollywood? Like if that's at a if LeBron James slapped the shit out of a comedian courtside at a basketball game, he'd be ejected from the game and fined like stupid amounts of money, probably suspended for multiple games. If you're like any other person in any other walk of life and on camera you slap somebody, like so many things bad would happen to you. Even if the person didn't press charges, you'd be at least kicked out. But they knew he was going to win the award, clearly. But like, imagine being Chris Rock. Like, this guy slapped the shit out of you, and then you just have to like continue to do your job with him sitting literally in the front row. Like, there was no protection for that guy. And think about like Questlove was just about to win an award. Like, it was really privileged to Will Smith, really. Like, he took that moment away from so many people. I get it, you're defending your wife, but it was a joke at the end of the day. And I don't think people should be slapped over jokes. I mean, worst comes to worst, you could yell up there or something like, yo, fuck you, keep my fucking wife's name out your mouth. Like, you want to talk to me backstage? Like, you know what I mean? There's 100 ways you could see. I'm sure Chris Rock and Will Smith know one another. Like there's not
Big
a chance
time.
that they don't know one another.
For sure. They all know each other. They all hang out together.
You guys never been at the same party and had a drink with no way.
sure.
Being like, not to be that guy, but being a black dude in Hollywood, you guys never been at one of these functions and been like, oh fuck man, I'm gonna go kick it over there with fucking
with
those
black
guys.
guys.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
man.
If you're one of like the skeezy white dudes, you know what I mean? You're gonna if you're fucking Michael Douglas, I can see you hanging around with the old white guys at these events. You know what I mean? And like you're gonna kind of hang out with like the people you can relate to.
I think it's crazy that they came out with a story to try to defend the Academy, saying we asked Will Smith to leave, but he refused to leave. It's like, well, did you ask him or tell him? Because those are two different things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I heard that, and I heard recently that they kicked Will Smith, or I don't know what. I guess there's like you would have to look it up, but apparently Will Smith is like, I don't know if he's no longer allowed to be an actor or something like that
Well,
anymore.
he left the Academy. I don't know what that means either, but I've seen it in the news. Will Smith leaves the Academy. Type in that. Resigns from Academy.
Which he can do, but in the article it also says that he can still win awards. He's just not part of the committee, the selection committee anymore. So it's like a fake resignation because he can still go to the show and win awards, but he can't be part of the people that select the awards, part of the committee.
Oh, okay.
Oh, fuck. In a statement released Friday afternoon, he said he will fully accept any and all consequences for his conduct. His actions at the 94th Academy Awards presented were shocking, painful, and inexcusable. I don't know. Sounds like a whole bunch of bullshit. And like I've seen other people saying like, oh, Will Smith saying that like he had to act his whole life even outside of his roles, and he wasn't allowed to be caught swearing because he was this good guy. But it's like, man, at the same time, that's like the bed that you made. Like Charles Barkley the whole time was like, yo, I am not a role model. Like I'm a basketball player. I am not a role model, and that hindered his career 110%. Will Smith could have said like, hey man, I am an actor. I am not this peachy keen, jelly bean, vanilla guy that you all think that I am. Never swearing, never doing anything, living like a perfect life. I mean, that was the decision you made, dude. Like, you can't really blame other people that... You look at Bob Saget. Everybody thought Bob Saget was like this guy from Full House, but then on every stand-up comedy and radio show, he's like, nah, man, I'm a heathen.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
out here doing coke off hookers, fucking
Heroin
assholes.
and shit.
You
Man
know?
was a fucking heroin addict for like a long time.
You know, and like I'm sure that hindered his career greatly. I mean, I think he came out saying that after he was already on America's Funniest Home Videos and the Full House.
Full House, yeah.
So, but you can't. The Smith family just pissed me off with all this shit because you can't reap the rewards of being this family and then have these table talks and have this open family. And on one of the table talks, I even saw her talking about the alopecia, and she's like, at this point, all I can do is laugh about it, so I have to laugh about it. It's like, well, bitch, if you just came out and said that you can laugh about it, and then a comedian makes a joke, laugh about it. You just, like...
Exactly.
If I say in a podcast right now that, like, I don't know, man, that I'm fucking a little bit overweight, but all I can do is laugh about it, and then someone makes a joke about me being a little bit overweight, I can't get mad at the person. I just said I can laugh about it. Like, it's almost like permission.
Yeah. I've been thinking how deadly is alopecia? What actually is alopecia?
It's an autoimmune disorder that just makes hair very, very hard to grow on your body naturally.
A lot of the time it falls out in like chunks. Like you'll have like almost like patches of hair in your head.
yeah,
mostly.
okay.
But it has to do with your autoimmune system, from what I know, and I'm no expert. I'll look it up.
Because I'm curious
Yeah,
as to like.
I mean, I heard like Andrew Schultz even said it's not like it was like cancer or something like that.
Yeah, well, that's
and
what
they made a joke
I don't
about
want to. I don't want to downplay alopecia or anything because it could be some serious. It could be very serious, but
But if it's the same thing as like psoriasis, it's like, yo,
Yeah.
you got psoriasis?
exactly,
Like, come on now.
exactly.
I grew up with psoriasis. I still got some. Like, I'm gonna be walk it off. You're gonna be all right. You know what I
exactly,
mean?
man. It's like, yo, just embrace it. You're balding. It is what it is. Like, fuck, I'm balding. I don't got alopecia, but I'm trying to keep this shit as long as possible. You know what I mean?
But you're not a woman at the same time. Like,
But I can also take a joke. You know what I mean? Even if I was balding and had alopecia, it is what it is. I'm not dying from it. It's not like somebody laughing, like you said, I have cancer or I have fucking AIDS or some shit, and somebody's making fun of me because of it. It's just, yeah, you just got no hair. Big deal, in my opinion. I mean,
And if anyone can afford treatment for alopecia, it's someone who has hundreds of millions of dollars.
Exactly.
So
That's
it's not.
another
It's
thing,
coming
too.
from a place of privilege. I think a lot of it's like I have this life-threatening illness, when a lot of people are out there living a much worse life with a lot less means to financially recuperate from it.
exactly. Like, she could go to Turkey and try and get some hair plugs. Well, that's where the best place is, apparently, to
Hey,
get
man,
hair
butt
plugs.
implants and hair plugs.
You
gotta
can
go
get
to
some hair
Turkey.
plugs, and you know what? If they don't work, big deal. You spent $10,000 or whatever it is of your $500 million. You spent $10,000 for something not to work. I'm sure these guys have spent $10,000 on less things. You know what I mean? If I had $10,000, I'd go to Turkey and get hair plugs and get this shit fixed up a little bit. You know what I mean? But I don't. So, like, people make fun of my hair all the time. Buddy at work's like, man, you just got to get rid of that shit and shave it off. It's like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm keeping it, and I'm going for as long as I can. And, yeah, they make fun of me all the time. I'm not fucking crying about it. I don't really care, to be honest.
I remember like knowing you as long as I've known you. A lot of people have made fun of you for being short, and the times that you only really get offended are when they're the whack jokes.
Yeah,
if they have a good
man.
one, I've heard you be like, "Oh, that was actually a pretty."
Yeah,
good
man,
one.
because they're all like I'm 31 years old. I've been hearing this shit for fucking 25
You've
years.
been the same height since the
Ye-
6th grade.
Yeah, man. I've been hearing this shit for 25 years. If you come up with something pretty funny that I haven't heard before, I'll be like, you know what? I'll give it to you. That was a good one. But when you're just like saying the same old, doing things like this, where is this guy? Where is this guy? I can't see him. It's
They like
yo.
to do that on the soccer field. To you.
Yeah, they do that on the field to me all the time. It's like, bro, I've been. That's nothing to me.
I don't remember what the guy's joke was, but one time one guy said one to you, and I was thinking in my head like, "Oh fuck, that one was actually pretty good." And I was waiting for you to reply to see what you said, and you were like, "That one was pretty good."
Yeah,
I was like,
man,
yeah,
like,
sorry, Nico, that one was pretty
There's
good.
some things you just can't you can't go back at, and it's just like, man, that was a good one, man. Like, I'm glad that you are clever enough to come up with something that is different from all these other ones. Like, because everybody's just, they got the same ones, and not to mention, like, the thing that bothered me about people making fun of me because I'm short, it's like, it's almost like making fun of somebody because they're black.
You can't change
You
it.
cannot change anything. You know what I mean? It's like, I could
It's not that you're overweight and you can hit the gym.
Exactly.
It's not that you're whatever. Yeah.
There's nothing I can do about being short. It's just, it is what it is. So it's like, kind of, I don't want to say discriminatory, however you say. I don't want to say that's what it is, but it's just like, come on, man, find something better. Tell me I suck at soccer, or that, like, you're trash on the field, or, like, you know what I mean? You're ugly, or
You know
something
how I
like
jumped
that.
up to like Div 3 for the last indoor season?
Yeah.
A ball came to me. I'm playing right back. A ball came to me, and I just kind of stumbled my feet within the ball, and then I just kind of passed it up the field like Timbit soccer, just kind of kicked it aimlessly to nobody. And then one guy on the other team was like, "Number 8, the back, no feet." And I was like, "Oh, fuck." I was like, "Damn, bro." Like, that's like when you're open in the corner at basketball, and homie says, "Let him shoot."
Yeah,
That's the
man.
worst. They
The
don't even try to
disrespect.
close out on you.
Yeah.
That was like the equivalent to that to me. I was like, man, damn. I was just in my head. I was like, I'm just gonna focus on playing defense.
Yeah, you ain't the passer in the midfield.
No, I was like, fuck. But that, like, what could I say, man? I'm playing in a league slightly above where I should be playing. I didn't have the good feet like everybody
Exactly.
else. But I didn't have shit to say to the guy. I just kind of, oh, okay, bro. Those are pretty good topics for that last week. Do you guys have anything going on this upcoming week?
Well, today I'm gonna go to a card convention and see if I can get some of my cards graded. That's
Would you like to talk about them, seeing as you have them right there?
kind
on the
of,
table?
yeah. I mean, I mentioned last week that I've been collecting cards, soccer cards, soccer cards, basketball cards, and stuff. And yeah, I got some pretty sick.
The hobby, as they call
The
it.
hobby, yeah. I got some Alphonso Davies cards. 1 of 5 Alphonso Davies. You guys probably can't see that, but I'll show it anyway. I got a signed Alphonso Davies here. pretty sick as well. I'm gonna go see if I can get them graded. Well, I'm gonna get them graded. I'm just gonna figure out the process, as I've never actually got anything graded, and it seems like it's like kind of a weird way of paying, or like I have to value the card at a certain price, and then
grading for what grading to tell people is what people can do with sports memorabilia, comic books, trading cards, where you send it to an authenticator or something, and they can tell you what quality it is rated out of 10 and how much money you should expect, what it's worth.
Exactly. So the way that the guy that I was talking to explained it is, it costs X amount of dollars for a card value of X amount of dollars. And then I have to pick and choose. Do I want it to take 3 months to 6 months? Do I want it to take 1 week for it to arrive? And if I choose 1 week, it's like $400 for one card, up to $5,000 value, which I'm still not fully understanding of the situation. So I'm going to go check that out today. Should be all right. I mean, I don't plan to buy anything because I need to be... The chances I do is 50-50. For me, everything in life is 50-50. It either... I'm going to...
You do or you don't.
Yeah, you do or you don't. It's right or it's wrong. It's 50-50 chance. So I'm going to try and... Oh, look at the Michael Jordan right there. Actually, Drake pulled one of those Michael Jordan cards the other day.
Yeah, that exact Michael Jordan rookie card.
Yeah.
I knew I recognized that picture from somewhere.
Yeah, so I'm going to be sending mine. It says PSA right there. Best grading companies. PSA, I heard, is the best one.
Authentication and grading services.
Yeah. And then below it says, click on grading. See, I'm hoping to get a gem mint 10.
A gem mint 10. So what does that mean? What is gem
That
mint?
means
mint?
Gem mint is
mint.
it's centered perfectly. The surface is perfect. The color is perfect. The corners and the edges is all perfect. It's completely perfect. I have a couple Ronaldos that are near mint 8s. So, but the thing with PSA, it doesn't tell you
what is the imperfection.
Exactly. So if you go to Beckett has right there at the top. Beckett has oh no, it was right there. Yeah, Beckett. So Beckett has, it lets you know right there. See, it says the corners 9.5. The autograph. So scroll down, I guess. Or I guess you could click on that or whatever.
But in that top little section?
Yeah, in that top little section there, it says...
Oh, look at that one on the right, a Kobe Bryant rookie card?
Yeah, Kobe Bryant. It says cornering 10, surface 10, edges 10.
Oh, I see those little stats sections.
Yeah, it lets you know that... It lets you know what is wrong with your card and why it didn't get graded higher.
Why don't you send to these guys then?
Because I think PSA is more. I want to say Beckett is. I could be completely wrong. I want to say Beckett is more for hockey and maybe baseball.
Click on Marketplace at the top there. It's right underneath iMagnet on it. It's right above the search bar.
Oh, yeah. Right next to pricing and check. Yeah, down to the left, just a touch. Right there. And search...
Kobe Bryant.
Yeah, Kobe Bryant.
Let's see what they got here. Oh, they got tons of them.
Yeah, there's a bunch. You see, look, near mint.
They're like $12, $88, $50.
Yeah, so like some Kobe Bryants are worth like a shitload, but then there's also some that are worth like nothing really. It all depends on what people want. Like that one right there, 390 to 750.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah, there's a couple groups that I'm on, like Luka Doncic cards are going for like fucking loads of money. There was another guy selling a Michael Jordan. He wants like $25,000 for it. It's like, man, if somebody actually buys this and has the money to buy this, it's like, pfft.
We go at 96, 97, so that's his rookie season. Flair Showcase Row 0, number 31, Kobe Bryant parallel rookie card, I'm assuming, graded BGS Gem Mint 9.5 for $5,000.
Yeah, man. And there's people who will pay that, no problem. Unique items sold, let's see.
That's crazy. I mean, I'm sure that's price went up after he passed away.
Probably. But that's the thing. You would think mostly all of his cards would go up a little bit, but
Supply and demand, I suppose.
supply and demand, exactly. It's what people want. Some people are like, yeah, no, I don't really like that card too much. Or I really, really like this card, and a lot of people really like this card, which then jacks the price up.
Wayne Gretzky, nice one. Go to the top, see if you can just sort by most expensive. Yeah.
I have a Wayne Gretzky rookie, but it's a Topps rookie. It's not an
The other
OPG.
way. Play it one more time.
It's not an OPG rookie, and it's in pretty poor condition. If I was to get that graded, yes.
$500.
Yeah, see, that's like that's nothing compared to if you go to Google and search Wayne Gretzky OPG rookie card. I'm sure like Gem Mint 10. Yeah, just OPG. See what pops up. Right, like look at that one right there.
$3,000, $3,000.
Right, you can even find this. You can even find a PSA 1 that's worth like $1,000, and mine would probably be like a PSA 1.
You have this one?
I got an I got not the OPG one. I have it's Topps one, so I think it's like the second run. There's 2 runs, right? Like 5. That one is 6. So like that one is like in way better condition than mine. But like, yeah, like my corners are all like mangled up and shit. You can tell like on the edges, look at the top edge there. You could see it's kind of like faded or whatever. Along the side, it's a little bit faded. Like, yeah, that looks like it's in way better condition than mine. Like one of my corners is literally like been folded over, it looks like. You know what I mean? So even if I was to get a grade 1 on it, that would be pretty sweet.
What about you, producer Zach? You got anything going on this week?
No, just kind of waiting. We're finished our snow contracts for the year. That ended on March 31st, and now, or March 30th. Can't remember how many days are in March. 31st, yeah. And yeah, so waiting for that to kind of finish up and then go back to paving, but gotta wait for the temperature to get better. So I'm just kind of hanging out this week, finishing up some schoolwork and editing. I won't say anything
for
bad.
us there, producer Zach, to wrap this thing up?
Yeah, I have. Do you guys have any cool facts that you want to pitch this week or no?
I do not.
That's fair. I got a couple here that are just a little bit kind of fun, but also weird. So we all love crocodiles, except for, yeah, there's one person that doesn't really like them that much. Oh, I guess he died from a manta ray, not a crocodile.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Stingray.
bad joke. So it's
I had no idea where he was going there for the longest time. I was like, what?
that sometimes you ever just start a sentence and hope it just works out. Sometimes that happens.
The Michael Scott approach.
Yeah. So crocodiles can gallop like a horse. It's likely you picture horses bounding across a landscape, not something scaly and low to the ground. However, a study published in Nature in 2019 noted that crocodiles have the full range of quadrupedal footfall patterns used by mammals, meaning that they have the ability to gallop like a horse, and occasionally they do. Of course, they don't look quite as graceful, but they can reach speeds up to 11 miles an hour.
Damn.
Which is pretty wild.
That's like 25 kilometers an hour.
Who do you think would win in a fight, a crocodile or an alligator? Same size, level playing field.
I don't know too many of their differences.
Yeah, I was going to say, what's the difference of a crocodile and an I know one, I'm pretty sure one likes the water more than the other, I think. And one lives in, like, more deserty climate, it could be. It's crazy, because actually yesterday I was watching a program on Netflix. The most deadliest animals, or 72 deadliest animals in Asia, and the crocodile was on there. And they said, like, the length of an adult, 5.8 meters. Like, that's fucking huge,
And they're
man.
the aggressive ones. Crocodiles more aggressive, and they have 5.8 meters. Alligators less aggressive, 4.3 meters.
Yeah, like 5.8 meters is like fucking from here to there.
Look at the difference in lifespan too. That's wild.
Yeah, crocodiles 70 to 100 years. Lifespan of an alligator 30 to 50.
Damn, that's crazy.
So basically, crocodiles are a lot cooler than alligators. Is what we're coming to the conclusion of. They're longer. They're older.
No, you mean crocodiles are cooler than alligators. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
My bad.
Have you guys ever tried gator before? Alligator?
Yes.
No.
And what'd you think? Wait, what form was it made in? Was it fried?
It was like it was almost like a calamari. It looked like a.
So it was breaded and fried?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
okay.
when I went to Costa Rica, we stopped in Houston for a layover or whatever, and we ate at a place called, I think it was called Bubba Gump or some shit. I think that's
Well, they
what
got
it's
one of
called.
those in the mall here. Bubba Gump shrimp or whatever.
Yeah.
Like the chain from Forrest Gump.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure it was called Bubba Gump, or it was called something like that. I'm not sure what it was called, but I went in there and I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna try out I'm pretty sure it was alligator, not crocodile, alligator, and yeah, it was in like a calamari form, and yeah, I thought it was all right. I wouldn't eat it every day, and I don't even think that I finished the whole plate, but it was pretty good. Like I'd eat it again, but it didn't really taste like
You're not
it.
really going to go searching for it, but if it's there, you'll take a nibble.
Yeah. I'm not gonna go searching for it, and I figured I may as well try some new shit. I'm going out to, I'm gonna get out of my comfort zone.
Traveling.
I'm going traveling, and like even when I was in Costa Rica, the people that are with like, oh man, we gotta go try this ceviche. It's the best ceviche that you've ever had. And I was like, yo,
that? What's ceviche?
It is like so it came in like a martini glass, and it was raw. I think it's raw fish inside of lemons and limes. So the limes and lemons,
Kind of cook it, right?
yes, get rid of the bacteria and kind of cook it, and it's got like onions and a bunch of shit I don't like in there, to be honest. Yeah, that's what it looks like. But
So what we're looking at is a guacamole base with what looks like crab meat, probably, onion, tomato, a little cilantro on top, and some crackers on the side. So it's almost kind of like a dip dish.
yeah, well, like when I had it, it didn't have no guacamole in it, but they gave us crackers, and yes, it's like a
Ceviche, also ceviche, or blah blah blah, is a South American seafood dish originally from the modern-day country of Peru, typically made from raw fish cured in fresh citrus juices. So yeah, maybe going over some like chickpeas or something. That looks like gnocchi actually.
Yeah, like I'm not really a fan of fish. Well, I don't mind fish, but raw fish definitely not. So when I tried it, I was like, yeah, this is all right. I'd never order it again, but I'm in Costa Rica, so I may as well try it out. And yeah,
YOLO.
yeah, exactly. It was okay. So, man.
What else you got for us there? PZ?
Okay, do you guys want to do a Would You Rather real quick?
Sure. Why
Unless
not?
you have another fact for us.
I can find one if that's the route you want to go.
We could do both.
Okay, good enough.
I mean.
Okay, so the position that you guys sleep in is linked to your personality. So when you fall asleep at night, do you prefer to be in the fetal position, flat on your back, or sprawled out on your stomach? How do you sleep?
Not really a stump. Well, I feel like it all depends, but I feel like for the most part, I want to say I'm a side sleeper. The fetal. I want to say I'm a fetal guy.
Fred?
I do like the letter K sleep. Like I got the one hand up, and then the one leg straight, and then the other leg.
You're almost like a side stomach.
Yeah, I usually sleep like that.
Well, there may be more to how you sleep than just what makes you comfortable. According to the Telegraph via dreams.co/UK, sleep experts have found a correlation between a person's preferred nightly position and their personality. For instance, a director of sleep assessment advisory service, which sounds like a sick job, to be honest, just watch people Chris Idzikowski explained that people who opt for the fetal position may appear tough but are actually sensitive souls right to the core. That's just one example.
I mean, I could agree with
Hit
that.
the nail on the head.
I could agree with
Hit the
that.
nail on the head.
Deep down, I'm a really nice guy. On the outside, I might look a little aggressive, but deep down.
No, you are definitely a little aggressive. But you're definitely also a sensitive guy underneath it.
You can be
sensitive,
both,
yeah.
man. You can be both. Okay, one more fact.
What about Fred? What about Fred?
Oh, I didn't go through the whole article, and I don't have the assessment. There's just a little blurb.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But I sleep more similar to how Fred sleeps. I like to have one arm tucked. I like to have one leg up. It's
Yeah,
almost like a
yeah.
weird yoga position, but it's
Yeah.
comfy. But then you wake up and it's just like you move your neck. It's like.
Yeah, man, I have neck problems for days.
Me too, man. So maybe that's something we should look into. Okay, so tulips were once actually more valuable than gold. The University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign horticulture educator Martha Smith notes in a 2011 article, back in the 1620s, tulips were worth more than gold, way more.
1960s?
1620s.
Okay.
Why were these particular plants so pricey? Well, according to the same study, initially the tulip was a rarity only the very wealthy could afford. She further explains. Indeed, at the time, a single Rembrandt-type bulb, which is just a variation of tulip, reached the equivalent of $1,500, which was 10 times the annual income of a skilled craftsman or the price of a large house.
Damn.
I wonder what are some of the other things that have gone like that, either up or down, that used to be like super valuable but are no longer worth fuck all. Or used to be worth fuck all but are now super, super, super valuable.
The Russian dollar.
Yeah. I wouldn't say it was super, super valuable, but now it's fucking.
And our dollar, for that matter, too, used to be pretty valuable. And over the past decade or so, it's probably slumped pretty hard.
Even oil, like you hear gas used to be like, oh, blah, 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 so cheap. Like older
Fucking
people
like
used to
40
think.
cents, man, or like. I remember when I was younger, gas was like, it getting over $1 was like unheard of. Yeah, man. Now it's like over $1 all the time.
Like see what was the gas price in Alberta in like 1995? I'd be super curious to.
Alberta, down.
Edmonton
right there. 47 cents.
47 cents.
Told
and then
you.
by the year 2008, it was $1.09. Unbelievable. 1995. So when we were like 6-7 years old, it was 47 cents. Today it's $1.47. That's crazy. So even like 100 years ago, I bet oil was dirt cheap.
Yeah, man, the cost of living has just risen so much versus the amount of money people make income-wise. Because think about back when our parents were probably growing up, you could have one income earner for the whole house, have 5 kids, own your house, and still have money to do stuff.
And have a cottage.
That's right. And now you live by yourself and you can barely make ends beat.
Straight up.
Yep.
Having a dog is fucking pushing your limits.
Fucking Alberta, Edmonton literally has the cheapest gas
I was just looking at that too.
throughout the whole entire.
Yeah, look at St. John's, Newfoundland at the top. In 2008, 126.3. That's 14 cents on average higher than ours.
Damn. Or like Whitehorse, $1.05 when ours was 85 cents.
Whitehorse, everything expensive up there,
Yeah,
now, right? Which is wild because I'm sure that's where like they get a lot of the oil somewhere near up there.
Well, I know Alberta is like. I know they say Alberta's got some of the biggest reserves on the planet. Like, I think 3rd biggest or 4th biggest or some shit. I've also been hearing that Saskatchewan apparently has a lot of big oil reserves.
Venezuela has massive oil reserves.
Yep, Venezuela as well.
Do you have a would you rather with us for us?
Yeah, and it's actually kind of, I think this is a good one.
Venezuela got the largest oil reserves in the world.
Mm-hmm.
300 billion barrels of proven reserves.
But isn't that so wild? It's like they technically are resource rich like no other country, and they're fucking poor as shit at the same time. It's terrible.
I remember seeing a picture of their money literally strewn across the streets, and the caption was, "With all this money, you still can't even buy a loaf of bread."
Their money was worthless.
Yeah, and that's from what? Corruption?
Some would say corruption, some would say badly administered communism. For real, but I don't know. I don't live down there. It's a very hot button topic, so I don't really want to talk. I don't know too much about it.
Gotcha.
They have 17.5% of the shared entire global resource of oil, and in 2011 surpassed Saudi Arabia to top the worldwide list. That's crazy. I didn't know that they had so much oil.
Okay, so would you rather, and this is pretty, I think this would be good for you guys. Would you rather know all the world's secrets or live ignorantly forever? Because I think one of those will make you go pretty insane.
Yeah, I think I'd have to choose ignorance is bliss on that one.
See, and I would choose just because I'm the type of guy that likes to know about the world's secrets because I feel like there's a lot hiding out there. I would know the world's secrets for sure. Obviously,
Man, that'd be so much stress. You'd know
But
so many
that's-
things about yourself. Like, there's some things you're not supposed to know. You know what I mean?
exactly. So, but that is what makes me curious as to being a so-called conspiracy theorist, which the conspiracies are all true. No, but I just, yeah, I would like to know all these things for sure. Whether it would make me go insane or not, at this point, I probably wouldn't go insane because I know that there's a bunch of shit going on in the world that is hidden from all of us, and even if I did know, there's nothing I could do about it. I'm just one man.
Don't you think it would be such a massive burden, though, to have all of that information, and then you wouldn't be able to really do anything with it? Because not only if you did do something with it, no one's going to fucking believe you.
Well, that's another reason. Like, I talked to my buddy at work, journeyman that I work with. I talked to him of like I would used to tell him that, man, I would research all this shit about fucking this conspiracy or Hollywood or these people doing this and these people doing that, and then I literally tell him like, yo, I stopped doing that. I don't research anything anymore because there's nothing I can do with this information. This is all just sits in my head, and then I tell people like you or this guy, and then you guys look at me like I'm fucking from another planet.
Look at you like you bugging.
Exactly. So, like, there's nothing I can do with this information. I do like researching the unknown, and I do like knowing things that other people could care less about. But at the end of the day, there's nothing I can do with the information. It's just going to sit there and rack my fucking brain, which it was. It makes people go crazy. Buddy that I was working with, he told me that when COVID came around, one of his wife's friends started to like go fucking crazy and shit and think that I think she sent some money to the convoy or whatever, and then like when they said that they were gonna tap their accounts and close their banks, she was like, man, they're fucking watching me. They're out to get me. So when he went home, he went into his garage and there was all of his posters that had eyes on it. All of his windows were they had garbage bags on them. All of his posters that had anything with eyes or any kind of electronics were like unplugged, put away. Like this chick was going fucking crazy thinking that these people were like out to get her. Meanwhile, like they don't give a shit about you. You're just some fucking chick. You're just some, you know what I mean? Like you end up going fucking psycho because of it, and it's just like,
You know how like you always see people like before they became the president and then after they became the president and they just look like shit after the 4 years. Imagine if you had all. I mean, that's pretty much like the person who knows the most is probably like like about that kind of shit. You know what I mean?
For sure.
I'm convinced the president knows if there's aliens or if
For sure.
all this bullshit. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people say the president is like just like a figurehead, which I'm sure he is, and he's just propped up by he or she, whomever. I guess the he, because we're talking about the president of the United States. But like that would be your like your whole life would be so stressed.
Yeah.
Do you think he gets like the president, the incumbent, whenever they come in? Do you think they ever just get like a big dossier and
I
just
kinda
like
think
state
so.
secrets or I guess federal country secrets?
I would think so.
And no one's just been like, okay, maybe I chose this job wrong. I'm gonna
And
go.
Also, maybe they don't because of people like Donald Trump, who at first they were like, yeah, Donald Trump's a good guy, and then towards the end they're
I'm
like,
not sure very many people said that.
well,
but-
no, at the very starting, the media was like, yo, Donald Trump is a fucking good guy. And then all of a sudden, towards the end of it, the media is portraying him as, I don't know, a racist, misogynist. He probably was already all of that to begin with, but they just flipped their tune. So now they're like, fuck, maybe we shouldn't have gave this guy all this information.
do you think that,
I'm
like,
so sorry. Why?
Do you think that like George Bush and Barack Obama's dossiers looked a little different than Donald Trump's? You think theirs might have been a little thicker? You know what I mean?
I would, yes.
The
I
language
would
was
say
written
so.
differently in simpler words, and the font was
One had a
much
lot
larger.
a lot more pictures than the other one.
For sure. I mean,
But I've heard Joe Rogan talk about it again. But do you think you just also I should say, but you think they you get sworn in, they're just like, all right, bro. The mafia killed JFK. Aliens are real. 9/11 was actually an inside job. There was never weapons of mass destruction.
Jimmy Hoffa is buried actually under the White House, not actually the Chicago Cubs baseball field.
Yeah. B.D. Cooper got away. He's in Mexico. You know, they think they just tell you everything. You know what I mean? Hillary Clinton is actually a reptile.
facts. Hillary Clinton and everybody else around her. I mean, that's maybe they. With that being said, maybe they don't give them this big spiel, because who's to say that they're not gonna come out and say anything against them, or they're only gonna be in there for 4 years or 8 years potentially, and I could see if the president was gonna be there till his death, and he was down for the cause, then it's like, okay, yeah, we'll let this guy in on some stuff.
I mean, I think they kind of enter a fraternity of you've never heard a president talk shit about another former president ever. They're all like boys, kind of, because no one. It's like you hear rich people and why they're kind of friends with rich people and talk to them. It's because you know what, their other friends can't really relate to those same problems. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
if you're
that's
a
true.
millionaire and then your your next man is I don't know, makes $120,000 a year, which there's nothing wrong with that. That's great money. But you guys just don't have the same problems. You know what I mean? You cannot relate to no one can really relate to the president. Like Barack Obama could phone up Bill Clinton, and Bill Clinton's like, I know, bro. I know, dog. I know. I know what the fuck. I understand, man. I get it. You try to get your secretary to suck your dick yet? It kind of worked for me. Keep it on the low.
That's included with the dossier too.
Yeah.
You get your first one's free, and then after that you got to work for it.
But, no one can really relate to a president like a president.
Yeah, that's true. 100%.
Anyway, I think that's been another episode of 7 Days Makes 1 Week. Please feel free to rate, review, subscribe, all that shit that we're supposed to say for YouTube. We didn't have any of the comments that we wanted to get, so I should have said this at the top of the episode. I'll have to remember next week. But make sure you comment so Niko can reply to you. And join us next week. Thanks for sticking around to the end. Same bad time, same bad channel.
Bye.